Willkommen, bienvenue, welcome once again to the Love Entrepreneurs Show, starring Ellery Coslet. And today's special guest is Tima. Tima will talk a little bit more about what she does and how she does it. But most importantly, this show is dedicated to the results of the Big Fix, our flag show product that helps you use a forum of other people who are part of Love Entrepreneurs to get a better handle on how to promote, manifest, and improve the way in which you do business. Ellery, welcome to the show, and Tima.
Thank you very much. Now, this Big Fix was stupendous. Now, we put as a title how the Big Fix changed my business. It's all a bit grandiose, so I'm sorry about that for people to looking in. But there is a theme here because this Big Fix did actually change my life. I know that the Kangen water that you help people produce, Tima, water changed your life, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
So do you want to tell us quickly how this product changed your life?
Yes, so very quickly, I was suffering from illnesses for 20 years and more, and I had done everything under the sun, and I was only getting slightly better. And then I learned that we are over 70% water, and I changed the water that I drink, and it changed my life. The type of water we put in our body is so very important, and not all water is created equally.
I love that. And so you came to the Big Fix, right? And this is an education here for Gareth. I'm not sure. I think, Gareth, you were one of these.
I've been to many Big Fixes, but not to this one, unfortunately.
No, this was quite amazing because I learned it was like one fact after the next to make me realize how I am stopping myself from being healthy by trying to do the best possible things. So I met Tima at an exhibition run by Vanessa Mary a couple of weeks ago. And she had about 10 jars of water, all ranging in weird and wonderful colours with different things in them. And they started with tap water that was like bright blue, to things like fizzy water, things like San Pellegrino. There I'm thinking, it's a glass bottle, I'm doing the right thing. 2 bottles, which were plastic water bottles. There's me thinking, I don't drink tap water because that's really bad for you. But I drink plastic bottled water, like as if it's going out of fashion. And then I met Tima, and she said one thing to me, and she said, well, that's great that you're drinking water in plastic bottles. However, one slight problem. Are you aware that if you drink a bottle of this a day, that you're probably ingesting at least a credit card's worth of plastic into your body every single week? And I just had that sort of weird premonition of me being a plastic doll in my head, thinking, okay, like
we've often said that, Ellery. You are a plastic doll after all.
Yeah, crash test dummy, and that was a staggering thought. So then Tima took us around this table with her little device showing. Well, Tima, you can, because I'm going to get this wrong. It's like, showing the toxicity, I will say, of the water. Tima, tell us more about, because educate Gareth too, because, he may not know about this. Tell us.
I probably know nothing about nothing.
Take us through the waters, so from tap water to the fizzy water, to the bottled water, to the Harrods water that has all the gubbins in it, but still fantastic at 300 quid a bottle. But anyway.
So what I was basically showing at the exhibition is how much water can have the potential to reduce oxidation or increase oxidation in your body. So what does that even mean? It feels like too many big words. Blueberries are antioxidants. Vitamin C is an antioxidant. We know these things. So we also know that water isn't necessarily an antioxidant. And this water, that is, the medical term is molecular hydrogen water, is actually an antioxidant. Who knew water can be an antioxidant? So instead of buying pounds of blueberries and eating them, apart from the fact that we're also ingesting a lot of pesticides on top of them, you can just change your water and flush your body with the most potent antioxidant in the whole wide world. And that's what I was showing that day. that even when you buy the glass bottle, very fancy, not dropping any names here, that would cost me over £3,000 a year to buy that water. That actually, I was showing it with a little machine that's just called an ORP machine, that's actually not, although it's claiming on the label in pure English it's going to be beneficial, it's not. On top of the fact that, yes, plastic water has microplastics, tap water that, I mean, I couldn't have shown that there, but there are studies, Forbes came out with a study, and there are other studies that tap water is full of contaminants. So although tap water is not fit for human consumption, bottled water is not the alternative either. It's making us sick. It's full of microplastics. There are many companies being sued because they've actually bottled tap water. So you have poison wrapped in poison, aka plastic, and it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. And I'm not there to. It's not fear-mongering. It's more like, this is the situation. This is the solution. For as little as £14 a month, you can change your health and what's going out of your pocket by just putting the right water in your body. It's not going to go out of fashion. It's water. If you don't drink it, you will have a lot of health issues. We know that. We have to have water in our body to survive. So it's very, very simple and very basic. And that's what Larry is actually referring to, that she saw that day. It really is an honor and a privilege to show everyone that with their own eyes, that look what's available to you. And it's just me being there, showing everyone, and then they can take that information and do with it as they wish.
So tap water is poisonous?
It's full of contaminants. It's full of contaminants, parasites, pesticides, birth control, chlorine, fluoride.
It is not that they have now found birth control pills in babies' placentas.
Okay, I didn't know that.
This is not great. So I think it's well known that our tap water, I think people are really waking up to the fact that tap water is really bad for you, and people are not, they're filtering it, or they're not using it, they're not taking it straight from the tap, right? Now, you're not going to die from tap water as you ingest it. It's not like the old days where you've got, high grade contaminants. If you went to Russia or somewhere like that, they've got, but it's the other shit that they put into it, right, to make it, drinkable or whatever. But what they're doing, they're killing us softly. But I thought, but okay, so the alternative is, and this was a big aha moment for me. I thought, oh, well, I'm being a really good human being. I'm drinking bottled water without realizing that I am ingesting this credit card full of plastic every single week. That is just like seriously mind-blowing. Now, I think what happened in the big fix was three things. People realized, A, they were potentially ingesting, because there were a lot of people like me not drinking tap water or filtering it or drinking bottled water from plastic bottles. So everybody was in that zone. But nobody, I guarantee you, nobody realized that they were potentially ingesting a credit card full of plastic into themselves every single week. That was totally new. And of course, this water, once she'd gone through the sort of science behind it, and this was the thing that still gets me. So we want, this is an antioxidant, right? That's correct, isn't it? So yes. Actually, this is the only thing that you will see on a little device that you want minus on. You don't want a plus. So what she did with this ORP machine, right, this little stick thing, she went around and put it in to the various waters, and she could show me, right, tap water, something like 7 plus 7, what was it? What was it? Something like 700, 8 plus 800 or something ridiculous. Down to, as it went down the range, I mean, we had bottled water next. That wasn't much better, actually. That was still plus 300. Then we had, the real shocker for me was bloody San Pellegrino, which I love. And I always think, oh, I'll have bubbles. That was quite high on the, on the oxidation level, wasn't it? That was still 100, 300.
I can't remember the numbers, but everything is positive, as you're saying. Everything was positive, apart from molecular hydrogen water.
It came down to the Harrods branch water. I can't remember what brand it was. I mean, that said it had lots of molecular hydrogen in it. But that was still, but there's molecular hydrogen and there's molecular hydrogen, you know, and that was still plus. It was a lower plus, but it was still plus. And then you went to your water and it suddenly went down to minus 500-600, which was.
I've just been reading up about ORP. Apparently, a good ORP stands for oxidation reduction potential, and a good ORP for drinking water would be between 200 plus 200 and plus 600. Apparently,
That's not correct.
Not correct.
It's actually the other way around. It should be a minus.
So if I may, when you have an oxidation reduction potential, if it's positive, it means when you're ingesting it, it has the potential to oxidate. Oxidation looks like, you know, basically aging or anything that's making us ill. It's the only time you want a negative number. When it's negative, it's an antioxidant. So when you're putting an ORP machine in any liquid, if it's positive, it has the potential to oxidate. In other words, it has the potential to rust your insides. So when you cut an apple and you leave it out and it goes brown, that is oxidating. And no one wants to, when you look at it, you'd prefer to have a fresh one naturally. And that's the only place. So you always want it to be negative. And the machine that I have, because it's medical grade, there's a lot of things that come with it, that what that actually means, but it produces a negative antioxidant that's very high. It can even go up to minus 700, even minus 800. To actually put it in perspective, and what does that even mean? Just one normal cup of molecular hydrogen water, in antioxidants, it's equivalent to having a kilogram of blueberries. Now, let's say if ideally you should be drinking around 8 glasses of water a day. So just in antioxidant properties, and there are so many other properties which we don't need to get into here, but just in antioxidants properties, it's as if you actually eating and ingesting 8 kilograms of blueberries a day. I mean, I've done a lot of stuff for my health, but I've never had 8 kilograms of blueberries a day. That just feels like absolute insane. So just to put that in perspective, what does that even mean? It's in terms of antioxidants, that's what it would be.
Okay.
So now that Gareth is totally blown away. So the other thing that we learned, so one of the things that I think we got out of the Big Fix was that it was the marketing of this, right? Because one of the let's talk about the problem. One of the problems was the price point, right? So the price point of this thing is 4,200 euros, right? And everybody's going, oh, you know, my God, that's huge. But they do a price plan, right? So you can pay this off over 24 months. So you're talking about £120 a month. The lifetime of this machine is about 25 years if you look after it, okay? So this is an investment in your health. Right, this is the water that people in Japan drink when they live, you know, in those blue zones. Right, so there's proven scientific evidence that backs the benefit of this. Now we worked it out. I think I can't remember the figure, but this was something that we were. You felt you were stumbling over, but I felt, you know, the way to market this was tell them at the 17p a day or whatever it is. You know, you compare the price of a bottled water every day, you know, for one person, and then you times that by 25 years and you've got some sort of grotesque figure, haven't you? And then you bring back down the price of your water and it's actually something like, what is it? Did you say 14
£40 a month?
£40 a month. Yeah. So did you find that it was useful? Did you find that, you know, these suggestions were?
Yes. And that was, the thing is, I have a lot of knowledge about this. There's my personal experience, there's all the science that I know. And what happened in the Big Fix is that Larry and the team really helped me go, okay, let's talk to people who are just hearing it the first time round. These are very specific, major points that you can just say so very simply. And yes, and that was one of the things that was very, very helpful for me. One that you've just mentioned, Larry, the price point. If you're breaking it down to hang on, it's £14 a month, and I believe that comes to 47 pence a day. Something that simple, Dima, you're not actually talking to it like that. And that, for me, the penny really dropped. And that was one of the things that we spoke about, which was very, very beneficial for me.
So you could have a strap line of what price, for 14, sort of carry on talking. I'm going to do the maths quickly while we're here. I'm going to try. Did you say it's £14 a month, didn't
That's
you?
correct.
Okay, right. Carry on. I can't talk and do maths at the same time, guys.
46 pence. If you're looking at for the day, it's 46 pence a day.
So what does this water help you with?
Okay, so why is this also very important is that illnesses and diseases, or disease or dis-ease, thrives in a body where it's full of it's inflamed. 90% of diseases is rooted in inflammation. When you pour your body with the right things and pour it with antioxidants and reduce inflammation, it's antioxidant and anti-inflammatory. When you reduce the inflammation in your body is allowed or has the space to do what it's supposed to do. We are overburdening our body with a lot of stuff just by the way we live and how lives are these days. And it's so very important for me to say that there is no such thing here, no such thing as a magic pill. But what is also very important for me to say is that our bodies are over 70% water. Our blood is 90% water. If you're taking care of, even like, as I said, I was doing all the right things. I was taking care of the 30% of the pie, which is the human body. But when I'm taking care of the water, which is over 70%, that is significantly reducing inflammation in my body and pouring all this amazing antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and just reducing inflammation. And it allows the body to do what it's supposed to do. Our bodies are built to heal itself and repair itself. But so I hope I've answered the question, that's what it's really doing is, I'm just, helping that. And unfortunately, the statistics are screaming at us. I always say, when you know better, you do better, or at least you make an informed decision, even if you wish not to do better. We are at an all-time high with just cancer. According to the National Cancer Institute, 1 in 2 and 1 in 3 women have cancer. It is predicted by 2027, and some doctors predict by 2030, but either 2 to 5 years away, is going to be 1 in 1. And that's just cancer. We have so many different illnesses. It is screaming at us. So what if by changing our water, we can change our lives? That's the message. Change your water, y'all. You don't even need to go hike for 20 hours a day and do all sorts of juices. Just change water.
Before we wind this up for today, I just want to get a clear statement from you about your Big Fix experience.
My Big Fix experience really helped me break down everything that I'm here to share with people and help them change their life into very small bite, digestible pieces, which I
pun intended, digestible.
I wasn't able to do that in my head because, as I said, there was so much information in my head, so much of my own experience, and sometimes I just get verbal diarrhea because I get so excited when I talk about this. And the experience, and it continues to be because I have continued support through this, is just how do we help people? You want to help people, you want to reach people, yes. So how do we help you do that? So let's look at what you have. You have the tools. Let's help you market. It's basically the marketing and being able to speak to people who have never heard about this and just want simple information so they can just digest it. And it really has been such an honor and a privilege to be in that space and allow Larry and the team to hold that space for me and give me the feedback that they've given me.
Okay, right. I'm just going to do a little bit of marketing for ourselves. Guys, I hope you found this really useful. In a second, I'm going to put up some contact details. So if you want to start your journey with Teema, you can do. But before we do that, let me briefly talk to you. There's a QR code at the bottom of the screen there. If you scan it, that will allow you to start your Big Fix journey. It is entirely free. And what you will over a 2-day period is get the feedback from peers who will tell you or give you information, perhaps because you've been too close to the topic of how you can market or promote yourself more effectively. Ellery, you've been itching to say something.
Itching to say something, and the good news is I'm going to be buying one of these things. So it was a marketing, although it was helpful and beneficial for Tima's business. I'm rewiring some of my finances and stuff like that because I want to buy one of these things. And I've been talking to, in fact, I'm talking to a friend of mine, well, 3 friends of mine this afternoon about it too, because I'm saying, you know, these guys are people who, this guy's got cancer. He's got over cancer. He's now in remission, thank God. Very close friend of mine. And, you know, I just think that these people need to know about this, you know. And, you know, it was a real honor and a privilege to do something, you know, to be, because it wasn't like, you know, oh, I'm telling you, you must do this, you must do that. It's actually helping people pass the message and carrying the message to others, you know. And it was, this Big Fix in particular was just really inspiring. It was just amazing. So I want to be part of your team, Tima. I want to be part of Team Tima, and let's change the world.
Tima. That's definitely got a ring to it. Let me now talk about Tima. If you want to get in touch with Tima, the best place to start is probably Instagram or WhatsApp. So I'll put the WhatsApp number down there. I'll let it roll for a while. Thank you so much, Tima, for being part of Love Entrepreneurs Show today. Ellery Coslet with all her amazing enterprise and energy. Thank you for that. And to all of you watching, once again, you see the QR code. If you want to do a similar journey, perhaps get less close and nose right up to it about what it is you're promoting, and have others give you some feedback and give you some ideas on how better to promote and get people interested in what it is that you do that can help change their lives for the better. Please do follow that link. And if you want to get in touch with Tima, once again, the Instagram link is at I am Tima Razek, and the WhatsApp there is the number as well. So until next week, can you please try and keep your feet on the ground, reach for the stars, but also try and look after that mental health. Until next week, it's bye-bye from me. And goodbye from Ellery and Tima. Until then, bye-bye now.